Yeah, you're on? Cool. I just thought I'd start today's class just with a moment to really be present, because I find I spend a lot of my day really thinking about the future and the past. And I go over things in my head and I analyze things. And we know from teachings like the Dalai Lama, and if you've ever read The Power of Now, that happiness is found in the present moment. And we spend so much of our time thinking about what we've done in the past, or what we've said, or who we've upset, or what we could have done better. And then we worry about things that haven't happened yet, which to me, my biggest gift with yoga is actually being in my body and being present. So I'd like us to just take a moment to close our eyes and just relax our shoulders back and down and just be present. And that's really a simple thing to do and to say, but when you're in practice with this, it can also be quite difficult. And a really nice little trick is to focus on any physical sensations in the body. Maybe of the pressure of the floor on your foot, or your hands as they rest on your knees. Or maybe any noises. Either inside the room or outside the room. And become fascinated and engrossed with that thing you are focusing on in this very moment. And all of a sudden, without realizing, you find that the past and the future have melted away. And with it, a lot of your worries, or all of your worries. And this is a little gift that you can bring into your day. Focusing on this very second of this moment that you're in. The inhale of the breath as it comes through your nose. And the exhale, a little warmer as it leaves your body. And having a few breaths here of your own. And on your next exhale, if you can gently wiggle your fingers, maybe lick your lips, and rub your lips together to loosen the jaw. Maybe a little smile to the face, and gently opening your eyes. We'll start down on our backs. So if you lay down onto your back, and if you do have a block, I know some of you do, that would be handy. Or if you have a water bottle, that works as well. I'll also give you options with neither of those. So just if you have them, it might be helpful. So coming down onto your back, we're starting and focusing on glutes and backbends today. So if you can tickle the backs of your heels with your index finger, this is the right distance away. We'll start with an example with the block, placing the palms on each side of the block. Without the block, you can just do it with your hands, imagining that you're creating pressure between the hands and protracting the shoulders. So you're pushing the hands towards the ceiling and creating this imaginary friction and tension between the hands. Take a breath in. And then exhale, we're coming up into a bridge while the hands come up over the head. The hands do not rest on the floor. Keep squeezing the palms together, imagining there is a block there, protracting through the shoulders and squeezing the glutes together.
We're going to tilt the tailbone towards our heels, so the top of the mat, and see if you can really squeeze those glutes as much as you can, also activating the quads. If the knees are coming really far apart, see if you can draw the knees in so they're in line with the hips. One more breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower the upper back, middle back to floor, and hands come back over the body towards the knees. Exhale. Breath in. And on the next exhale, we come back up, raising the hips up towards the roof. Hands come up overhead. Keep the hands active. So reach through fingers. Imagine pushing the palms towards each other, squeezing the glutes and squeezing the hands. Now we're going to have a little play. I'd like you to relax your right glute, but keep your left glute activated. And just notice that that side dips down. Now squeeze the right glutes and the hips extend once more. Now release the opposite side and feel that hip fall down and feel the deactivation on that side of the body. Again, squeeze the glutes, the hips come even, push hips towards the roof, lift the toes on the feet, push the heels into the floor and drag them towards your body. Exhale, slowly lower back down to the floor. Next option, left hand comes up, placing the block down next to you if you have a block. So left hand rises, right hand comes in on top of your fingers and gently pulls your fingers back towards your face. And you're getting a really nice stretch through the back of the wrist. Take a breath in to prepare. And exhale, rise back up into bridge. Inhale, push down into the left heel and then raise the right leg up with the heel towards the roof. So this is a one-legged bridge. Flex the toes towards your face. And now we have 20 little pulses. So we're going to pulse up for 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 halfway. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg and gently lower the back down to the floor. Take a breath, maybe a little windscreen wipe of the legs. So I hope you felt your glutes starting to work, as I definitely did. Come back into your bridge to prepare. Right hand up, left fingers touch the top of the right hand and gently pull them back towards the face. Push both feet into the floor. Inhale to prepare and exhale to raise the hips up into bridge. Left leg raises this time. Flex the toes towards your face. Now from here, 20 pulses pushing into that right heel. So up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Smile, it hurts less. 8, 9, hang on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg and slowly lower down. I do have a counting problem. Now from here. If you do have a block, it's quite useful, but you do not need one if you don't have one. If you do have one, place it between your thighs and squeeze it really hard. It just encourages extra activation. If you don't have one, that's fine. Just make sure you keep active in the glutes. Interlace hands behind the neck and head, elbows up to the roof, and then lift your torso up. Take a breath in. Exhale, we'll raise the right leg up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift the left leg up, raise up, so shoulders up off the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, other side. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, we've got one more each side. Inhale, lower. Exhale, other side. Lower down, one more on the left. Exhale. Inhale, lower. All right, the next one we do the same thing, but we're going to lift the opposite leg off at the floor at the same time too. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, raise up, lift the left foot up. Inhale, down. Exhale, opposite leg up. Inhale, down. Exhale, right. Inhale, down. Exhale, left. Inhale, down. We've got one more on each side. Right. And left. Beautiful. Windscreen wipe the legs. Close the eyes. And slow the breath. Maybe bringing the knees in towards the chest and giving yourself a little hug if that feels good. If you like to have a little rock and roll and that feels nice on your back, you can do that until you get enough momentum to meet me in a tabletop position. So we'll take a few little cat-cows together. So we'll inhale, belly drops to floor, gaze up. Exhale, push the floor away, gaze down. Inhale, tailbone tilts up. And exhale, push that floor away and round through the spine. Now just taking these in your own pace, so maybe you want to slow it down a little bit. Maybe you want to barrel roll the hips, so moving one way and then the other. And I find what's really good is closing my eyes here, because sometimes we get a little bit too concerned about what everyone else is doing, and we forget to feel into our bodies, into what feels nice for us today. When you're ready, moving your hands a little bit further to prepare for downward facing dog, and then we'll start to straighten the legs behind us into down dog. So you want to make sure that your down dog's quite wide. A great way to check this is to come into plank and see if you need to move your hands and feet. If you do, it means you can try your down dog a little longer. So coming back into down dog, we wrap the shoulders around the armpits, the biceps spin forward, and relax the neck and head. Sometimes some little yeses and nos of the neck is a really nice way to release the neck. Look between the hands, step one foot between the hands, and then the other. And exhale, we fold forward. Gently bend through the knees and slowly raise up. Hands come through heart center, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Taking a moment to be still and to be present. I find that word gets used a lot, but how I'd like you to use it today is just to feel your body, to breathe. Inhale, hands up to sky, and exhale to fold. Inhale to flat back, so gaze just get towards the floor, and exhale, hands forward, step back into high plank. So with our high plank, we're going to make it active. So we round, we protract through the shoulders, so we push into the floor, we squeeze the glutes here. So bring the legs together so you can also squeeze them and activate them. So this is where the glutes are really coming into play in this bridge, in this plank. Now from here, your option is to lower your knees to the floor, which is great for the first chaturanga, and then bring the chest forward, suck those elbows towards the body as you slowly lower down. Inhale into baby cobra. Maybe you lift the hands off the floor. Exhale, coming up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. As we get ready to flow a little faster as we start to raise the heat. Look between the hands, step or jump between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep hands up overhead. Big smiles, bonus points. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Breath out, hands to floor. Option to step or to jump back into high plank. Move through your flow, knees down or full chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, roll shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Releasing the neck and the head, little shake or nod of the head here. A few breaths to really feel into the hamstrings. Maybe come up onto tippy toes and exhale to push down through heels. Look between the hands, option step or to jump between the hands. Inhale, rise halfway. Breath out, we fold. Breath in, raise up, hands overhead. Breath out, hands to floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, and then move through your flow. So coming from high to low plank. Option is one-legged chaturanga or chaturanga push-ups if you want to take it up a level. And exhale to downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs here. Really feeling into the backs of those legs. What I really like to do is come up onto my tippy toes and take a breath in, and exhale, then push through the heels. If you're new to yoga or you're tight in the hamstrings, it's okay to bend the knees and just get that weight back into the legs, taking some of that pressure out of the wrists. Look between the hands, option step or jump. Sweep hands behind you and exhale, come up into chair. So we're deep in our chair. I like to get my quads so they're squeezing together. Get down nice and low, tilt the tailbone down, reach up. So from here, you can either hold your normal chair or you can try and lift one foot up if you just want a little bit extra torture on a Thursday night. And place it down, and then the other side. Smiling makes it better. Exhale, folding your hands down, stepping back your right leg. We're going to place the knee on the floor. I pad up my right knee. If you have some padding, please use it. If you have a sensitive leg, just come into a crescent lunge, okay? Inhale, hands up. And with this, I'd like you to lean forward into the knee. So what this is doing is getting into the hip flexors and also back bends. Take a breath. Exhale, hands to floor. Untuck the back toe. Step back into a high plank and move through your flow. So high to low plank. Inhale to come up. Maybe squeeze the glutes and thighs, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward between the hands, left knee lowers. Inhale, rise up. Again, the hips are tilting forward to come more into flexibility than strength. Exhale, hands to floor, untuck back toes, step forward between the hands and fold. Inhale, hands come up, raising to Tadasana. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, folding. Step left leg back, place the knee down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to floor, untuck back toe. Move through your flow, high plank to low. Inhale to come up. And exhale to down dog. It's so nice to see faces when I'm teaching now. Feels weird. Inhale, left foot forward and right knee lowers. Raise up. Exhale, hands to floor, untuck back toes, step forward between the hands and fold. Exhale. Inhale, we rise up. Last set. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Breath out. We fold. Step back with the right foot. Place the right knee down, rise up. Exhale, hands to floor. Step back, move through your flow, high to low. Inhale to come up. And exhale, down dog. Right foot forward between the hands, left knee lowers. Last set. And exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step forward between the hands. And a little ragdoll here, so grab your elbows and a little gentle rock from side to side. Bend through the knees and slowly come up to standing. So we stack the vertebrae on top of each other. Have a little wiggle, a little smile. Hands overhead, breath in, and exhale to fold. Halfway, breath in. Fold forward, breath out. Move through your flow of choice. Again, you can lower the knees to make it a little easier, or you can have one leg raised to make it harder, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Using these vinyasas as an opportunity to be present. Inhale, right leg up, bend the knee, and we have 10 pulses here. So 10, 9, we're pulsing towards the roof. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Hold for a moment. Inhale to rise. Exhale to right elbow, give it a hold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sweep the foot between the hand and get really steady here. What's really common when we get into our crescent lunges is we use momentum, but I'm going to get you to use strength. So just lift your fingers up, give it a little tickle. Push into the heel of your front foot and also the heel of your back foot. Use your core and your quads to slowly rise up. Hands up, way harder, a lot better for strength. Now here we're going to bend the back knee. I need a little bit closer stance with this. I'm going to come right the way down towards the floor. So my left knee is just off the floor. Hands up. We're going to have a breath in. And to exhale, come down. Take it slow. Inhale up. Exhale down. We've got another 4. Inhale up. Exhale. Halfway. 2 more. Inhale up. Take it slow. Enjoy these. Everyone's like, ah. Hold it on the last pulse down. Keep the hands up. Breath in. And then see with control, exhale. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Inhale back. Lower down slowly. Exhale forward. We got another 4 to go. Inhale and down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Another 2 after this one. Only 1 more. Inhale down. Exhale. So using this as a time to be present in your body, in sensation. And exhale, warrior 2. Keep bending that front knee. Activate the toes on the front foot. Push into the heel and gaze towards the middle finger. Finding a point of focus that isn't moving your drishti. Exhale, hands come over between you for eagle arms. Close your eyes and breathe. Maybe the forehead falls towards the forearms or the elbows. See if you can start to take that breath back to normal. Inhale, hands open, warrior 2. Exhale, hands together, straighten both legs. Turn your toes towards the sides of your mat. We're coming into goddess. And then exhale down into goddess pose. Your knees should be in the same direction as your toes. You should be imagining your hips are opening towards the lion. Hello, Mr. Lion. Now from here, you have an option to come up onto one tippy toes, the ball of the foot, and lower, and then the other, and lower down. Now you can keep playing with that. Next option to raise both heels up and to come deep into your goddess pose. Last option is pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels, place the hands on the quads, keep them bent, traction through the back, straighten the arms, and take that weight out of the legs. Exhale, we bring the left shoulder towards the right knee. We traction through the back here. This is going to get a release through the hips and also straighten through the spine. Inhale to center, straighten your legs a little bit for a break. And exhale, right shoulder towards left knee. So we're pushing into that hip to really traction here. Inhale to center, straighten the legs for a little break if you need it. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, 1 more to center. And exhale, last one. Inhale back to center. Those who've been doing this sequence with me all month are going to know what's coming next. It's the little sumo squats. So we bring the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to take a breath in to come nice and deep into the squat. And then exhale, the left knee is going to come up to touch the elbow on the left side. And inhale to come down, exhale other side. Yeah? I'm going to go for another 2 on each side. Squat down, exhale. Are you counting yourself? 1 more. And then gently coming back up to standing at the top of your mats. And it's very important to be able to laugh at ourselves in yoga because a lot of people take themselves way too seriously. So well done. Inhale, hands up to sky. Little movement of the legs from side to side if your quads are a little burny. And exhale to fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold and move through your flow. So step or jump back into high plank. Always an option to lower the knees. Come down in chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Let's go for the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, 10 pulses towards the roof to activate that left glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep between the hands. Get low in your lunge. Get nice and steady. We're going to take it slow. So push through the heel on the front foot and also through the back leg. So getting the hips even to the floor. Tickle the fingers onto the floor and slowly rise up. Make sure you tilt your tailbone, engage your core as you raise up. Bend that right knee. Come nice and low into the lunge. Hold. And then we inhale to rise and exhale down. Inhale up, take it slow. Exhale. Another 5. And focusing on that breath, using it as an opportunity to meditate a little and through that sensation of the physical body. One more. One of those annoying things the yoga teachers say. Hands up. And we have our 5 knees. So bringing in, exhale. Inhale back and lower. Exhale, rise. Inhale back and lower. Exhale, raise up. Inhale back and lower. Last one, raise up and back. Hold down at the bottom of your pulse. Keep that momentum, keep that strength. And then exhale, open warrior 2. Stay deep in the front knee. Push down the blade edge of the back foot and keep the knee in line with the pinky toe of the front foot. Gaze to front middle finger. Keep the glutes engaged. Tilt the tailbone down, lift through the chest. Exhale, eagle arms with the hands the opposite direction to before. And maybe exhale, release the head towards the arms. Stay deep into the legs. I have eyes in the back of my head. I can see when you're cheating. And inhale, hands open. Exhale, hands come to the center of your body. Turn the feet out to the sides. So your knees will be going the same direction as your toes. I'm just going to turn around for this one. And then come into goddess. Exhale. So with goddess, you have to imagine there's almost a wall in front of you that you're trying to have your knees on as you walk your hips closer towards the wall. An opening sensation. Tilt the tailbone, keep raised through the chest. Now, option here is to come up onto one ball of a foot and then the other, and then have a little play. Maybe you can come up onto both, and then maybe 10 pulses. Or 5 did I do on the other side? Oh, you got 10 on this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently coming up. Walk your feet a little closer together. We've got a little sumo squats. Interlace hands. Inhale, come deep into your squat. And exhale, we bring the right knee up towards the right elbow. And inhale down. Take it slow. Control the movement. Exhale. So take the breath like you would in a normal yoga pose. Slow and steady. If you come to my Saturday classes, they're not so slow and steady. Do one more so you're even. And then raise up to the top of your mat. Close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart and maybe place it in the middle of your chest so you can feel your heart beating. Maybe just take notes of whether your heart is beating fast. And maybe just see if through the next few breaths of breathing deep into the belly, we can start to slow the breathing down. Inhale, hands come up to sky. And exhale to fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands to floor. And come into your high plank and stay here. So you can bring your knees down for a moment. We have our high plank timer, which is still on from my last class, which is 24 hours. So, so it's a long plank. So we have a 1 minute plank. So come up into your plank to prepare. If this ever feels really hard on your wrists, please just come down onto your elbows, okay? So with our plank, it's angry cat plank. We're going to push up and protract through the shoulders. Squeeze the glutes and bring the chest more over your hands. This is actually a preparation for handstand. You're going to squeeze your legs together and your glutes. So the legs are actually together to be able to create friction and create tension in the legs. Now, it's really common the glutes will raise up. I want you to bring them down a little bit, and you'll feel your core engage. You're halfway. So it's always an option to come down onto elbows if it's too much, or to come down onto your knees. All right. If you can, I recommend you try to hold for the minute. You have another 20 seconds. You have 15 seconds. You're doing great. Keep protracting through shoulders, rounding out through the back. Squeezing the glutes, squeeze the legs together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently lower the knees. Come to yoga, they said. It'll be easy. Not my class. Next one is dish. So we do these poses because often in yoga, we go into a lot of flexibility without having the strength to hold us there. So using all these core exercises is super important for us to be able to get into other poses as well. So dish, that one. What dish is, I'll just show you for those of you who don't know it, you raise up like this. It's really common for people to get a sore neck, so I recommend you just to place your hands behind your head, okay? Now this one is challenging. If it's too much, just come out and take a break and come back in whenever you feel ready, okay? So I'll time you, but please don't feel pressure to stay in this one for the full minute. Push the lower back into the floor. If the lower back starts to rise, then please just come out. Hands can be towards the roof, chest is open. Squeeze the legs together. Stay strong. I like to point my toes, but you can have a little play with pointing and flexing them. So the core is something that is super important in yoga. And if we want to really start to grow our practice, we need to get a little uncomfortable, because doing the same thing, our practice won't be improving. So we've got another 40 seconds, 20 seconds. You've done 40 seconds. Almost there, 15 seconds. You can come out and have a break for a second if you want to. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing down into the floor and listening to the rain for a moment. Maybe bending the knees and letting that lower back come onto the floor. Maybe the knees come together and the feet on the sides of the mat. And just starting to bring that attention back into the body and slowing the excitement. Knees come into chest and have a little gentle rock and roll forward and back. And we'll meet in a downward facing dog. And this is the part of the class where we start to slow down. Inhale, we raise the right leg up. And exhale, sweep between the hand, preparing for pigeon. So you bring your right foot towards your left hand and your right knee towards your right hand. Now, if you do have funny knees, you can do figure 4 on your back, which looks like this. This is if your knee is sensitive. Otherwise, you can stay in your pigeon and you can actually bend that back knee and it won't be as intense for your knees. So just take what option feels right for you today. And once you find that position where your knee feels okay, you can start to fold forward.
And this is where being present in the breath is really important. And this is a pose that can really trip us up with thoughts about the past or future. It's interesting what comes up to allow our minds from escaping from the present moment. I encourage you to see if you can focus on a sensation in the body that is not the sensation in your hips or your piriformis, the glute, it's somewhere else. So maybe it's the breath. And see if by surrendering to this present moment, the position gets a little easier. If you've been here for a little while now, if you wanted to take it a little further, you could gently walk your left leg a little further back to deepen the experience, or if you're already feeling at your edge, just stay as you are. And maybe bringing your chest further forward as you inhale and folding forward a little more. Gently pushing your hands up to come out of your half pigeon, moving back to your downward facing dog and pedaling out the legs. So bending one knee and straightening the other. And just observe what that experience was like for you today. Maybe it was more challenging than normal, or maybe it felt really nice. Inhale, raise the left leg up this time, and exhale, prepare for half pigeon on the left. So again, with half pigeon, unless your shin is parallel with the front of your mat, which is pretty rare, just relax the toes so that you can also protect the knee. If your shin is parallel with the front of the mat, then you can flex the toes and that's fine. But just being really careful with the knee in this position. Your back leg should be walked behind you and straight, unless you're taking the bent knee version, which is a little bit more friendly for the knees and the hips. From here, relaxing forward and down. And see if you can just observe the mind on this side. Sometimes like to just see what my mind throws at me, the funny things that my mind wants to distract me with. And rather than getting too caught up in those thoughts, just try and be the silent passenger, observing. A nice analogy is like being on a park bench and watching your thoughts walk by, but not actually talking or engaging with the people walking by. And just to say, we can observe our thoughts and then let them pass. And gently bring the attention back to the breath. The last 3 breaths, finding your final position, maybe deepening your pose, or if you feel like you're at your edge, staying where you are.
And seeing if you can sink down a little more and notice what your jaw is doing. Maybe creating space between the teeth and moving the jaw from side to side to let it relax. Inhale, we gently raise the chest. And coming back into your downward facing dog, pedaling out the legs on that side. Playing with maybe inhale, coming up onto tippy toes, and exhale, pushing into heels. Just seeing what feels good after that deep opening of the glutes after working them for the first half of the class. When you're ready, coming back into plank, our friend of this class today, and we'll slowly lower ourselves to the floor. Locust pose. We'll do locust pose twice. So with the first one, we're going to inhale, roll the chest back, and the palms facing down towards the floor. And then as you exhale, I'd like you to squeeze your glutes as much as you can and lift your legs up. So what often happens here is we raise up with our back, but our glutes are deactivated. So I want you to squeeze them together, but just watch if your legs and knees start to spread when you activate your glutes. So suck them in as well. So almost try to squeeze the legs together too. And exhale to fold down, right cheek on the floor, gazing towards the left. So the glutes we've been talking about a lot today, and they're really key here. You can bend the knees and just windscreen wipe gently side to side to let that lower back release. Come back to center, head becomes neutral, interlace hands behind your back, open your shoulders, palms come to touch. Inhale to prepare, and exhale to rise. So we roll the shoulders back, the palms come off the glutes, squeeze the glutes, push those hips into the floor, and also start to squeeze your legs together so they don't go too wide when you activate the glutes. Come up a little higher for one more breath, and exhale, left cheek to floor, gaze towards right. Seeing if you can feel your heart pumping against the floor. And bringing your attention to that sensation. Inhale back to center. We come into bow. So for bow pose, I like you to do it without your hands first, and that's because we want to activate our glutes. So I want you to inhale to prepare, roll your shoulders back, and then use your glutes only. Flex your toes, so flex your toes towards your shin, and then use your glutes to lift your legs up. Just give them a poke to see if they're working. And if they're not, squeeze them a little more and see if you can raise them even more. So we're coming into the back bend through the strength of our glutes rather than pulling with our hands. And then exhale, lower down, right cheek to floor, gaze towards left, bend the knees and windscreen wipe the legs. So it's much harder to come into a back bend from activation than just dumping into the back. So let's have a play of doing that with the assistance of the arms and see if we get higher than we normally would. So grabbing the outsides of the ankles, and from here, you can flex the toes. Take a breath in to prepare, and exhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the legs up with your glutes first, and then start to open with the chest, pulling your feet towards your body and kicking your legs away, which is going to deepen your experience. But don't forget the glutes. Keep squeezing. See if you get a little higher when you're using your muscle strength as well. One more breath, and then exhale to lower. Left cheek to floor, gaze towards right. Maybe if it feels good, you can bend the knees and windscreen wipe the legs. Yeah. That always happens eventually. Is it water? Yeah. I've got a towel. You guys get an extra little chill out, so it's fine. You're like, thank God. Don't be sorry, it's fine. I've got excuse. Yeah, exactly. Gently coming up into an upward facing dog. Make this one a little less active, so relax the booty. Roll the shoulders back. Chin comes to chest. Close the eyes. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Looking between the hands, gently the knees come between the hands. We'll be moving it to camel. So I like to roll my mat up at least twice and put my knees on my mat. So if anyone does have a tweaky back, there is an option for half camel, which is when you have one leg forward, you place your hand behind your neck and you just go one side and then the other, okay? So this way. You can place your hand on your back. Does anyone have a tweaky back in here, or is everyone okay with back bends? Yeah. Well, I'll show you the option as well. And you just take the first option. Don't have to take the full version of the pose. So for camel, if you come onto your toes and you want your knees to be in line with your hips, bring your thumb into your sacrum and wrap your fingers around your hips, elbows back towards the back of the room, squeeze the glutes, which is going to extend your hips forward, which is what we're looking for. Chin to chest, squeeze your glutes even more, roll your chest open, and just come back a little bit. Now, this is where you're going to stay if you're new to camel, and this is a back bend that is still very strong. One more breath, and then exhale, we come back, using the core to pull you back. But you're going to stay doing exactly the same thing, or if you want to come back a little further, I'll show you how, for those who've been practicing for a while. Thumbs into sacrum, fingers around hips, elbows back, squeeze the glutes, hips go forward, the chest. Maybe one hand comes back to touch your ankle on one side and maybe the other. If it feels okay, the head can come back. Now just choose the option that feels best for you. You don't have to come the whole way back. Take another couple of breaths. Whenever you do want to come out, place one hand on your lower back and then the other, and gently use that to support yourself as you come forward. Chin comes to chest. Flatten the feet out and sit on your heels for a moment. Close your eyes, bring your hands onto your quads, and bring that attention back to breath, that theme of the class today. Undoing the mat that's in front of you. Coming into hero, reclined hero. So this one, I'm going to show you half reclined, and then if you want to do the full version, because I have been teaching it this month, you can. So how you come into it, the full version, is your knees are together and feet out to the side. You get your calves and roll them out. Anyone who's done Bikram or anything like that will recognize this from Bikram class. It's not only Bikram who does it, but so if your knees are already hurting in this position, it's probably a sign that this is not for you. So a half hero is when you have one leg straight and the other one is bent. And this feels really nice as well. So you can have this together and one foot out to the side with the top up, and you can come back into your half hero this way. Okay? So don't try to be a hero and do the full version and hurt yourself. Please listen to your body. For the full version, for those of you coming with me, knees together, move the calves out of the way, sit down between the legs. The hands come onto the backs of the feet, and you just start to open the chest a little bit, see how you feel. If you feel like you'll be able to come down onto your elbows, you can do that. If you feel like you've got a little more, you can start to straighten your arms and come into the full expression, maybe grabbing your arms over your head. Now, at any point this feels really extreme in your knees, please come out. Half hero is a really nice variation and feels awesome and is just a little bit more friendly to the knees. So please take what you need. If you've done half hero on one side, make sure you change onto the other side. If you're in your full hero at any point, if you do want to come out, I'll show you how. So place your hands on the backs of your feet, bend your elbows, chin towards chest, and then you shimmy your hands back and then straighten your arms. This is how you come out safely. You're welcome to hang out there as long as it feels comfortable though. And when you're ready, gently lowering your glutes down to one side. Place your feet flat to the floor as we slowly roll down to come onto our backs. Our final back bend of today, option is bridge or wheel. So if you do want to take wheel, you should be primed for it because you've done a lot of back bends and glutes. Otherwise, a bridge is for you as well. I'm going to show wheel for those of you who want to take it. So hands behind your head. I'd recommend only doing wheel if you've done it before in the studio. And when you do come up, you're going to push up. I'd rather that you don't come onto the top of your head because that can be quite dangerous. And if you did want to come out of wheel, you bring your chin towards chest first and slowly bring your upper back and middle back onto the floor. So a bridge is also absolutely okay. If you're coming into bridge, just bringing the hips up like we started class, interlace the hands behind you and push the hands into the floor. Squeeze the glutes and raise the hips up. Activate the toes on the front feet and push the heels into the floor. Keep the quads engaged. And then exhale, slowly lower your upper back, middle back and lower back to floor. And bring your knees into your chest and gently move them from side to side for a little spinal twist. Moving into our final inversion, I'll show shoulder stand. If you want to do a restful shoulder stand, you can, if you do have a block, you can place that underneath your sacrum and just raise your legs up towards the roof if that feels nice. It's called waterfall pose as well in English. So you can just grab the backs of your legs and flex your toes if that feels good. If you want full shoulder stand, you'll be bringing your feet up over the top of your torso and keeping your legs really active, because if they're not active, they start to just fall to the side. So zip the legs together, squeeze the glutes, and you want to have the balls of the feet like they're almost just touching the ceiling. Those of you who have plow in their practice, you can flex the toes and let the feet fall over the head. Now, if they're not touching the floor, just bend the knees and keep the hands on the lower back. If the feet are flat on the floor, you can lower the hands onto the floor behind you. To come out, place the hands on the floor behind you like brakes, and using that to push into the ground and your core strength to slowly lower your body back onto the floor. Take a breath in and exhale, release. Next, exhale, bring your right knee in towards chest, interlace fingers around the shin, and pull the knee tight in towards that right armpit. Exhale, knee over the top of the body for supine twist. Taking that attention back to breath, back to sensation. Seeing if both shoulders can stay on the floor here. And with every exhale, allow yourself to get a little softer in this pose. And release a little more. Inhale back to center. Straighten both the legs out. Inhale. On breath out, bring left knee in towards chest and pull the knee gently up towards left armpit. This allows you to push the lower back into the floor and open into the hip. Exhale, bring the knee over the top of the body for supine twist. If it feels okay for your neck, you can kick your metal water bottle over. You can gaze towards the opposite hand.
Maybe there's a gentle smile on your face. Nothing like a shavasana after you have had a good work as well. Find that little bit extra softness. Inhale back to center and taking any last movements that you feel that you need. So maybe there's a happy baby. And then finding your final resting pose, your shavasana. Finding that place of absolute release and relaxation. And gently bringing your attention to the sound of the rain. And allow that sound to be an opportunity for your final moments of relaxation. And then gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe making little movements with the hands, circles with the feet.
Maybe inhaling, hands up over your head, stretching from tips of fingers down to bottoms of toes. Exhale, maybe the knees come into the chest and give yourself a big hug. Ever feels nice, a gentle rock from side to side on your sacrum might feel nice. When you're feeling ready, rolling onto your favorite side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Then gently pushing yourself up to a comfortable position when you feel able. Keeping the eyes closed and resting the hands gently on the legs. And taking this last opportunity to observe this moment. The very sensation in this moment, the very sound. And when we're in this moment, there's no space for judgment or thoughts that might make us unhappy. Because all there is right now. And seeing if you can hold on to this feeling and take it with you for the rest of the evening. And try to tap into this space when you need it. A place of not thinking about the past or the future. And just being in the now. Hands to the chest, take a breath in. And exhale, bow to yourself for this space you've created. And to all the beautiful people in the class, because without them, it just wouldn't be the same. So thank you so much. You survived. You did awesome. Lydia, your hair looks wild. I love it. I hope you enjoyed the class. I always enjoy teaching you. And yeah, I hope you have a great evening. It was totally bizarre having people in the class. I was like, I kept losing all my counting, even though I normally suck at counting, but it's been lovely, guys. Thank you. And if we could have a staggered exit, that would be great. And the front row first, and then the middle row, and the last row last.